Welcome back into SWOSUathletics.com. I'm John Liddle, back alongside Austin Loomis this week as we get ready for Southwestern Oklahoma State and Ouachita Baptist. Thanks so much for talking with us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Congratulations on the win last week, 50-20 the final score. And the biggest thing you noticed defensively is 17 points in the first half, only 3 in the second half. What was the key to that?
The key, honestly, we were playing well the whole game, but the key was just not giving up big plays and shoring things up in the back end. We were playing really well all night, but we gave up 2 passes over 60 yards, both for touchdowns. So just not doing mental mistakes, and that's pretty much been our story so far these 2 games.
Just if you can cut down on the mental mistakes, you know, third down has been that story. It's kind of been third down in the big plays.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel you did on third down last week?
We did a lot better. Week 1, we almost gave up, it was about 50% on third downs, and last week we cut it down to 35. So that was a huge improvement. Our goal is 30, but 35 is pretty close to that. It's a lot better than 50% too.
What about you personally? What does it feel like to get that second game under your belt versus the first game? Do you feel more in rhythm, once you kind of get into the season just a little bit?
Yeah, it's almost every quarter. It gets
Really?
more and more easy, yeah. That first game, it's always the most exciting, most nerve-wracking. Even if you've played the year before, it's still the first game of that season. And it's just exciting to get used to it, and it's also getting used to everybody on the team too. With every game, we get more used to each other.
Well, how big just was the win for the team? You guys certainly played very well on Saturday. You deserved to win. For Coach Kokenauer, I know it just meant the world to him. What did it mean to the team to pick up the victory?
Yeah, it was just because we knew we kind of let the first game go. They were a great team, but we knew we probably could have won that game. So to get a win like that at home, our season opener, kind of show our fans that we really can do it this year, it meant that was a huge win for us, huge win.
Does the team feel like that this league is as wide open as it appears to be this year? Because, just look at the scores. Yeah, you might have some teams that are 2-0, but it's not like they're blowing out everybody. There seems to be about 8 teams in here that have a chance, possibly, to win this league. So does the team kind of feel that way right now?
Yeah, we definitely feel that this is a wide open league and that anyone can win it, and that's including us. But there are a lot of good teams, and we know that we're one of the top teams, and we believe that full-heartedly, and we know that if we play our game, we can win this conference.
Well, in order to win this conference, I would say that you'd probably have to beat Ouachita Baptist, who's your opponent this week. And Ouachita, they've been able to start the season out 2-0 with a couple close wins. As you look at them offensively, they're a run-heavy offense again this year with a quarterback that really likes to tuck it and run it. So what does that mean for you guys as a defense?
Well, it definitely adds another thing to worry about, but an actual set-up run play with the quarterback is not as a big of a deal as you think, but the problem with running quarterbacks is scrambling. Because you can game plan for option, you can game plan for any sort of designed run, but those improvised plays where the quarterback's just doing his own thing and scrambling, those are the toughest to defend. So we'll have to really be watching out for that this week.
Well, and when you've got a quarterback as an opponent who's led the league in rushing this year, that can be pretty tough. But at the same time, they've got a couple of backs in the backfield, kind of smaller type backs that are tough to find as well. What are you seeing out of those 2 guys that have started the season out so well?
Just like the quarterback, they're just really good runners. They seem to hit their holes really well, but as long as the defense and the linebackers just read our keys, it'll take us to the play. So, they're great running backs, but I think we can handle it. So.
Well, Austin, it's been a great start to the season for you guys, now 1-1 on the year, and we wish you best of luck this week as you take on Ouachita Baptist.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Austin. Welcome back into SWOSUathletics.com. I'm John Liddle, sitting down with SWOSU quarterback Marc Evans for the first time. Marc, thanks so much for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, great start to the season for you. Great start to your SWOSU career. 6 touchdowns so far, no interceptions, but I know even more than that, what meant a lot to you was the win over Monticello last week. What was the key to picking up that win from the offensive standpoint?
A lot of execution, especially third downs. The first week, we couldn't pick up the third downs, and this week I felt like, or this past week we felt that was the main key going into the game. we picked up almost all the third downs. We were actually, I believe, 5 for 5 on fourth downs, so that was huge in the offense game plan. And we just executed really well, and it showed in the score.
Well, and 5 of 5 on fourth downs, you almost never see that happen. So far this year, SWOSU is 7 of 7 on fourth down, which leads the entire nation. So, you know, if yeah, third down is important, absolutely. But when you're in that situation where you can go for it on fourth down, it's almost like you can combine those stats, you know. And so what you guys are doing on fourth down right now is pretty unbelievable. And we love what you're doing throwing the football around as well. You almost never got touched last week. You had a lot of time back there. How key is that for you?
Oh, that's a big part of my game. Just being able to be back there, pick apart the defense. But that all goes to my linemen. They got after it this past week, and they gave me a lot of time. I was able to go through all my progressions and find my receivers, and they did an awesome job.
We're chatting with SWOSU quarterback Marc Evans. You know, even going back to junior college, I see where you threw 14 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions last year. What do you think the key is to, you know, not turning the ball over, I guess? So what's the key for you?
The main key is just not forcing anything. My Coach Garfield always says, just take what they give you, and if you see anything fuzzy in the secondary, just hit your check downs, and the running backs are always there, and we saw that this past week.
The weapons seem to be fantastic around you. You got a 3-headed running back crew, and then let's just mention the receivers for a second here. DJ, my gosh, that guy, shot out of a cannon. When a play gets called and it's, you know, has a possibility of going to him, is it one of those things where you just can't wait to get the ball in his hands?
Oh yeah, especially that third play of the game. Just sending him in motion, they blitz off the edge, so my job was easy. I just had to dump it off to him and let him do the rest. And he's probably the fastest kid in the league, and it's going to be hard to guard him.
Well, and there are so many great weapons for you, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but I definitely want to talk about Derek Styles' start to the season. He got so little playing time last year. I know he was ready to break out, ready to show what he has. What makes him such a good target for you?
He's explosive. He loves to take the top off. We've been working this off season, me, him, Los, and that was one of his things that he wanted to work on, was his routes first off. But he's just that explosive to get open. Once he catches the ball, he's gone.
Well, you got a couple of really good weapons offensively. So let's talk a little bit specifically about you, where you come from, your background, things like that. So you're obviously a California kid. Spent a couple years at junior college. So what made you choose Southwestern?
Pretty much when Coach Garfield called me, he stood out to me the most out of all the coaches. He seemed the most interested, and it was pretty much the closest to home. Everything else was back east, but I did my research on Southwestern, and I wanted to turn the program around, and I thought this was just the best fit.
A lot of California guys have already made the trip out here. We've been talking about a couple, DJ being one of them. Does that help you feel more at home, having some guys from your home state?
Oh yeah, that goes all to Coach Garfield. Coming from California too, he knows a lot of great athletes come out of California, and he went and got them, and that does make it feel a little bit like home. They feel like the same way, coming out, changing, like adapting to the weather and the time change and all that, but it's great to have all the other Cali guys out here.
Absolutely. So you're in your junior year, and see where, at least on your bio, mentioned a graphic design major. Is that still the case?
Oh yes.
What do you hope to do with that?
Right now, I like to go into a little bit of clothing, and I mean anything you look at with the labels, graphic design. So when I have free time at home, I just like drawing or just designing stuff. But hopefully just get picked up by some big company and just design stuff.
Man, what gave you the eye for that? Where did that come from?
It runs in the family. We're really artistic, and I just like to draw. I've been drawing a tattoo that I want to get. It's a cross that has my grandparents' initials in it. So me and my brother have been talking about this, but it's artistic, just runs in the family, and I just decided to stick with it.
Fantastic. An artistic guy who throws really tight spirals. Mark, we appreciate your time, man.
Thank you for having me.
That's Marc Evans, quarterback for the Southwestern Bulldogs. SWOSU takes on Ouachita Baptist at home coming up on Saturday. A reminder, it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so get out there early and be loud for the Bulldogs in the Paul Sharp Cup Classic. And if you can't make it to the game, our pregame show starts at 5 o'clock on 95.5 The Coyote. I'm John Liddle for SWOSUathletics.com.